The biggest issue, the biggest obstacle we have in the United States at least, and I think it's very fitting we're having this discussion here, is we really suck at broadband. We have terrible, terrible broadband. Remember, I'm talking about a consumer point of view. The typical consumer either has been lured into broadband by a DSL service that in Finland would not count as broadband. They wouldn't even count it. 768 kilobits a second is not broadband by world standards. And our government has no broadband policy. And you know, even if the FTC would adopt a regulation not allowing Verizon to call that crap broadband, it would help. The typical household is getting a cable modem service that might advertise itself as 6 or 8 megabits a second, which is the object of pity and pathos in Japan and Korea, and I suspect in Scandinavia. And they're way overpaying for it compared to every other developed country in the world. And if they promise you 8 megabits a second, they're probably delivering 3. And they throttle it, and then they claim they have turbo boost to boost it when they want. And this begins to get into issues of net neutrality and that we're all familiar with, and I invite any of you to talk about. But we are not going to be able to do this video revolution through IP, through the internet. I don't care what the receiving vehicle is, whether it's a laptop or a giant LCD TV, unless we get broadband in this country. It would be like saying, oh, well, we have this thing called cable TV, but it can only show, you know, it only has enough bandwidth for one, you know, in the old days, one analog channel. It's just ridiculous. And it's a terrible problem also with phones. I mean, we all know, you know, if you didn't believe it before last June, when the iPhone came out, it became crystal clear that you were going to be able to carry in your pocket something which gave you really quite a good video experience. A big screen, high definition, still you can carry it in your purse, in your pocket. But again, broadband on these cell phone networks is limited, and I'm not talking about the fact that iPhone isn't 3G. It will be 3G in 60 days. 3G is still very slow in the United States and actually quite capacity limited. So, and you know, you might be in a Wi-Fi hotspot, you might not be in a Wi-Fi hotspot, you might be in a Starbucks where there's 15 people, you know, writing business proposals, and the bandwidth for you to watch video on your iPhone or your BlackBerry or whatever is very limited. We need some serious action from the next president to say that this is just as strategic as the interstate highway system or any of the other things that, whether you're, I don't care if you're a libertarian and you don't want the government involved in things, there's some things the government has to get involved in, either through tax incentives or active legislation or something. So from the point of view of the consumer, I think they love video. I think the internet is a video medium for them, but I do think there are a number of obstacles before it can really, really reach its full potential.